His Holiness Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj, who is the speaker today. And Maharaj will be speaking from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And would you like to? So just quick logistics. Restroom is go this way, take it left. It's the first room on the left. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Show me that. From this.
Very nice. Thank you everyone for being here. Hare Krishna. Those who know me, majority, my first time visiting here. I joined Islam in South America in 1974, in the beginning of 74. I met Srila Prabhupada, first visit to South America in 75, February. I was initiated by him at that time. So I traveled all over the world, preaching Krishna consciousness, South America, North America, Central America, Mexico, Europe, Middle East also. Because I have an Arabic background. My parents are from Syria. Syria. We speak Arabic. So, anyway. So let's chant and be happy. Omagiyana Timirandasya Yananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Abhyata Vinamutani Swayam Rupa Karamaya Namaha Swapanampitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Palakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagarajat Sahagana Raghunatha Vikantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parinjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gauranga Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Vanchakalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj ki.
So, we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 5. Prahlad, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu, text 30. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pranavacha. Dirma Kamishne Balata Swatova. Vito vipadyeta grihavratanam Adanta govirvishatam tamisram Punashcharvita charvananam Prahlad Maharaj replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. In this verse, the word Matirna Krishna refer to devotional service rendered to Krishna. So-called politicians, erudite scholars, and philosophers who read Bhagavad Gita try to twist some meaning from it to suit their material purposes. But their misunderstandings of Krishna will not yield them any profit, because such politicians, philosophers, and scholars are interested in using Bhagavad Gita as a vehicle for adjusting things materially. For them, constant thought of Krishna or Krishna consciousness is impossible. Matirna Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 1855, Bhaktyamamma Vijanati, only through devotional service can one understand Krishna as he is. The so-called politicians and scholars think of Krishna as fictitious. The politicians say that his Krishna is different from Rama as the Supreme. They think of Rama and Krishna as impersonal because he has no idea of service to Krishna. Thus, his only business is puna charvita charvananam, chewing the chew again and again. The aim of such politicians and academic scholars is to enjoy this material world with their bodily senses. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that those who are grihavrata, whose only aim is to live comfortably with the body in the material world, cannot understand Krishna. The two expressions, grihavrata and charvita charvananam, indicate that a materialistic person tries to enjoy sense gratification in different bodily forms, life after life, but is still unsatisfied. In the name of personalism, this ism or that ism, such persons always remain attached to the materialistic way of life. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 244, Bhogashvarya prasaktanam taya parita chetasam vyavayasayatmika buddhi samadho navidiyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Those who are attached to material enjoyment cannot be fixed in devotional service to the Lord. They cannot understand Bhagavan, Krishna, or his instruction, Bhagavad Gita. Adanta Govir Vishatam Tamishra, their path actually lead toward hellish life. As confirmed by Rishabhadi, Mahat Sevan Vara Mahod Vimukte, one must try to understand Krishna by serving a devotee. The word Mahat refers to a devotee. Mahatmanas tumam parta daivim prakriti mashritaha bhajantyana manaso gyatva bhuktadim avyayam. Those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Bhagavata 9:13. The Mahatma is one who is constantly engaged in devotional service 24 hours a day, as explained in the following verses. Unless one adheres to such great personality, one cannot understand Krishna. Hiranyakashipu wanted to know where Prahlad had gotten this Krishna consciousness. Who had taught him? Prahlad sarcastically replied, "My dear father, persons like you never understand Krishna. One can understand Krishna only by serving a Mahat, great soul. Those who try to adjust material conditions are said to be chewing the chew. No one has been able to adjust material conditions. But life after life, generation after generation, people try and repeatedly fail. Unless one is properly trained by a Mahatma, or unalloyed devoted to Lord, there is no possibility of one's understanding Krishna and his devotional service." Om Agyana Timiralisya, Anandana Sarakaya, Chakshura Militani. I was born in darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, opened my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respectful obeisance unto Srila Prabhupada. One may have good eyes, but in the dark room can't see. It's like blind. So if somebody put in front of you, torch light, then you can see. So that's why we offer prayers to the spiritual master who will open my eyes. Because my eyes were already there, but they are blind in darkness. So everybody is born in darkness, in ignorance, and the Guru opened the eyes through the knowledge, to the spiritual knowledge. So Prahlad Maharaj is very interesting. He's mentioning the Krishna's name, and this happened much before Krishna appeared. Isn't? That's when Nrsimhadeva appeared. After Nrsimhadeva came Rama, and then Krishna. So millions of years, we know about Krishna. Sometimes devotee asks me, how Prahlad Maharaj mentioned Krishna's name. Krishna has not appeared yet in this way. But Krishna's name is already in the Vedic scriptures. No? So the sages of Dandakaranya, they were worshipping Gopal to become gopis. And when they saw Lord Ramchandra, they became attracted to him. But he told them, "I bless you, you become gopis in your next life. Because me, only Ekapatni Brahma, only one wife, Sita Devi, that's it." It's a good example of Ramchandra to all the Astas, to be satisfied with only one wife and chant the holy name, chant Hare Krishna. Thus, no problems. And one should not be attached, too much attached to married life, because it's not like forever. After death depart, when they marry in the church, they say after they depart us. Most of the cases don't come to that point. So I need to say, in Vedic culture, Shudras never get only Grihastha all their life. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they take Vanaprastha at certain age of life. And Brahmanas, they take sannyas, Vanaprastha and sannyas. That was the system. So because sannyas for preaching, traveling preaching, no attachment to home or permanent residence like that, nothing like that. So we have to have a spiritual education to teach others, no? So the Brahmana get the training to learn the Vedas, to teach the Vedas, worship the deity, teaching how to worship the deities, performing yagyas, teaching how to perform them. Prabhupada once said, there is a Bengali saying, Brahmane Tim Pun, which means Brahmana maintain himself by blowing in three ways, blowing. He said, one way is by blowing the conch shell, doing arti. Another way is by blowing the, what is that? Usually, in the past, they used to cook by, using this, what do you call it? Bellow, yeah, bellow, to light the fire, and to cook. But that's another way of blowing. And the third way to blow is to blow the mantra and the ear of the disciple. To whisper the mantra. So 3 ways. Brahmane Ping Pum. That's Bengali. So anyway, Prahlad Maharaj sarcastically speaking to his father said, "Don't worry, you will never become Krishna conscious." Not for you. Because you are determined to remain in this material world to enjoy the material body, the senses. So it's not for you. Because it doesn't matter because you have no inclination. So somebody who doesn't have the inclination toward Krishna, then that will never happen. Even they hear instruction from others, or by the or combination of both. I mean, Prahlad Maharaj preached to us, but then the father here was not affected by it because he was determined to remain in the material life. So they didn't have the faith. And Prahlad Maharaj said, Punach charvita charvana, I'm chewing the chewed repeating. And that is the same thing, eating, sleeping, making, defending. Wherever you go in all the world, you see people doing the same thing. Eating, sleeping, having sex, diet, and fighting to survive, struggle for existence. Feeling, that's called feeling. Feeling the future, what will happen. To have some security. But there is no security in this world. Just see what happened in the pandemic. Everybody feels secure. How many? 1,000 people died. There is no security in this world. It's all illusion. Nobody can protect anyone. The parent may give the best protection to the children is their beauty. But if the child gets sick, what can they do? Nothing in their hand. So that's why, unless one worship baby Krishna, his attachment to children would be very strong. And if he doesn't see Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, Radha Krishna, one of these very much attracted to his wife as the source of all happiness and pleasure. So one has to think of the pastimes of the Lord in Vatsalya Bhav and Madhurya Bhav to lower the attraction, to material life. I guess all the children go to school. You go to school. Now personally, you can go. It's open. No mask are obligatory. Listen? No obligatory. But I see some ladies are attached to the masks. They're still okay. Just in case, you never know. But now the COVID is only like a flu. Heavy flu. Last few days, 1 week is finished. So anyway. So in the school, I remember when I was in school, I was kids like you. When we entered the classroom, the professor say, "Throw away your chewing gum." Nobody throw away. They put it on the. You're laughing, maybe you're. I also did that. You see, And when the bell rings for recreation, immediately take back. So that's chewing the chewing. Maybe very little sugar is still left. Not much. Still trying to squeeze as much as you can. The same way, we try to squeeze this body the most we can to get some pleasure, But it's all, temporary. Not real happiness. So the wise person knows that the body is a source of all suffering. old age, disease, death. So they don't take pleasure in the fountainhead of all misery, which is the material body. They take pleasure in higher source. Ramante yoginante satyananda chinatmani. They get pleasure from their relationship with Krishna. Krishna is known as what the Vedanta Sutra said. What is the word? The source of all bliss. Anandamayo Vyasa. Anandamayo Vyasa. Is the fountainhead of all ananda, all happiness, all bliss. And he expands all living entities to increase his happiness. Because he's unlimited, he enjoys unlimitedly all living entities, part of him. By exchange of loving service, he enjoys. So we are meant to give Krishna enjoyment by serving him with love. And when we do that, we also feel happy naturally. In the Vedas, there is what we call allegory. No? That once the senses, okay, boys, I'm going to ask you a question. How many senses we have? 5 senses. Only 5? We have 10 senses. Okay, 5 acquiring knowledge senses. The eyes, the tongue, the nose, the ear, the touch. These are 5, no? But there are other 5 senses, working senses. The 2 legs, the 2 arms, the evacuating and, reproduction, and the voice. So I'm working by using my voice, working for Krishna. So all the 10 senses came to a meeting discussing about the stomach. This is stomach sitting there doing nothing. We have to do all the work to bring the food to the stomach, serving the stomach. So this stomach is abusing us. He's a dictator. He's making us slaves to him. So we are gonna go strike against the stomach. No more feeding the stomach. So they stopped feeding the stomach. And after 3 days, they were feeling very weak, very morose. So they had another meeting. What's happening to us? Why we are feeling like this? No energy, no power, nothing, no enthusiasm. Well, maybe because we stopped feeding the stomach, we start feeling like this. Maybe we should try to feed the stomach, see what happens. Okay, let's try to see what happens. So they start feeding the stomach, they regain their energy, their power, enthusiasm, everything. So they have a 3rd meeting. Conclusion: no more strikes against the stomach. It's not good for us. So the stomach is like God, Krishna, and we are like the senses. Unless we serve the center, we are not happy. That's simple. When you serve the stomach by feeding the stomach, the hand also feels happy. Suppose the hand become mad and instead taking the food to the stomach, want to enjoy it by squeezing it in different ways. The hand would not be happy by that. But when the hand gives this food to the stomach, then the energy goes to the hand also. Hand will be satisfied. So it's a practical philosophy, very practical philosophy. Once a devotee asked Prabhupada, what can I do? I always think about my own self-interest. I can't avoid it. Prabhupada said, then think about your real self-interest. Our real self-interest is to be a devotee of Krishna, to be servant of Krishna. That's the best thing we can do in our life. Sometimes devotee having troubles, they ask for advice. I tell them, you should always try to remember the best thing that happened in your life is to become Krishna conscious. That's the best thing that happened in your life. Imagine your life without Krishna consciousness. Will you be happy? Of course, materialistic people, they think they're happy. Prabhupada gives the example of the camel. The camel is chewing the what do you call it? Huh? Yeah, the cactus or whatever that has the thorns, they like what they eat, but they don't like thorns. But still they choose thorns also. And the tongue is clean. So the taste of blood with the plant they're eating, oh, that seems nice to them. But they're eating their own blood. In the same way, ignorant materialistic people, they think, to squeeze the body the most they can to enjoy. When Friday evening arrive, oh, Friday evening, South America, Friday evening, happy hours, everybody doing drugs, the right drugs. Go discotheque, dance. They think they're happy, but they don't know what real happiness is. They're torturing themselves actually, because the soul is suffering. The souls want to be with Krishna, but because misled, Papa said majority of people are good. The leaders are bad because they don't give them good guidance. Blind leading the blind. They can't fall in a big ditch and break a hand or leg. So that's the problem of the world. There's no good leaders. Blind leaders. Prabhupada's criticizing the politicians. They misinterpret Bhagavad Gita to their own purpose. If you want to preach your own philosophy, don't use Bhagavad Gita. You do your own thing. But because they know Bhagavad Gita is authority, so they quote Bhagavad Gita for their own purpose. Prabhupada said, like one Dr. Radha Krishna, he said, when Krishna said, Man mana, I will think of me, or Sarva Dharmam Parityaja, give up every surrender to me, and he interpreted differently. He's saying in his commentary, he said, no, we should not surrender to Krishna. One moment, Krishna says, surrender to me, how can you say no? Then he is word juggling. No, we have to surrender to the unborn inside of Krishna. Oh, what do you think? Oh. But actually he's committing offense. He's making difference between the inside and the outside of Krishna. He's saying that Krishna has material body, that this body is different from the soul. That's what he's saying in a different language. And that's an offense. Krishna, body, soul, one and the same. We are different from our bodies. Because we are eternal spirit soul, Satchitananda, eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. But because of our ignorance, our body, we forget what we are. We need to be reminded who we actually are. Sometimes I give the example that the son of a rich man had a car accident and he is suffering amnesia. So he's loitering in the street, no food, no shelter, all dirty, He doesn't remember who is he. And then a friend of his father see him, oh, Robert, what are you doing in the street homeless? Coming here, we saw so many homeless people living in the tent. So it's not America, all rich, all. It's not like that. Anyway, so he tell, oh, Robert, what are you doing on the street? I know your father is a rich man. You should not be struggling like this. Come with me. No, I don't remember. I suffered an accident. I don't remember. Oh, no, but I know you. Come, I will take you to your father. But I will not take you like this, all dirty and smelly. Let me take you my home, take a nice bath, eat nice food, then I take you. So the same thing, Guru come to this world to remind us why you're suffering in this world, of birth and death. Come, I will take you to your eternal Father, Krishna. I can't take you like this, all dirty. You have to be clean first. Follow sadhana, follow the religion. When you become clean, you can do it. So that's the plan. Krishna's plan is to rescue all these uh, forgetful souls in this world. And that's why he comes as Lord Chaitanya. Out of kindness to the Kali Yuga people. Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Bhayanashana Sri Satchinandana Gao He. Kali Kukur Kalan Yadi Chao He. No fear. You don't have to fear anymore the God of Kali. That is it, compared to a God. If you go to a friend's house and he has a very, very ferocious dog, he wants to jump on you, what you will do? You cry out to your friend, please help me, your dog wants to bite. Come. And the friend comes and you order the dog, sit down there. The dog immediately obeys. When his master say like this. In the same way, if Krishna can, if we call for Krishna's protection, he may tell Maya, okay, calm down. Don't disturb my devotee. Daivi esha gunamayi mamamaya duratya mamayi prapadyanti maya metantaram pite. Krishna said, this divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome, but those who surrender to me can overcome it easily. Why is it called divine? Because it is coming from Krishna. It's Krishna's energy. Very powerful. Durga Devi is in charge of the prison house. Some people pray to Durga Devi to be happy in the prison house. Give me money, give me nice job, nice this, nice that, like that, Same also in all religion, people go pray to God or to the saints, angels, whatever, for material prosperity, happiness in this world, isn't it? But they are fooling themselves. No real religion preach that you can be happy in this material. All religions say the same thing. For example, Buddha said you have to, you're suffering because you have this material desire. You have to give up material desire. That's Buddha's philosophy. Of course, he's avatar of Vishnu, but then because people are atheists, he has to preach this philosophy to them. Okay, know that, but follow me. So he's cheating them for their own good. At least don't be violent, don't harm anyone. It's like in a classroom when some students are very, very mischievous, the professor put them against the wall. Okay. Do nothing, stand against the wall. So that guy does because, okay, meditate, sit down, at least don't kill anyone. Don't harm anyone. Lord Jesus also said, my kingdom is not from this world. So that means religion is not meant to be happy in the material. Religion is to understand that we have actually a real home. This is not a real home. We have to become detached from this world. Gradually, of course, by practicing bhakti devotional service, gradually we become detached. And how can we become detached? By becoming more attached to Krishna. You can't give up something unless you have something better to replace it. Prabhupada gave the example of himself that he didn't want to go to school. So his father, he engaged one man he paid one man to take Prabhupada's school. So he would tie the rope around Prabhupada's waist like Damodar, pulling him to go to school. But once he started learning, he started relishing learning, reading, writing, and all this. He didn't have to be forced. Naturally, he wanted it. So in that same way, when we relish, develop taste for hearing, chanting, remembering about Krishna, then it becomes easier. The more we become attracted, attached to Krishna, our material attachment gradually diminishes. Satam prasangam mamavirya sambido bhavanti dukkana rasaya makkata tadyo chanada swapavarga vartmani shradharati bhakti anukramisya. That we should hear about Krishna's pastime in the association of the devotees, because that is very pleasing to the ear and to the heart. And by doing so, our material suffering diminish. And step by step, or attachment, rati, bhakti or devotion, bhakti, rati, step by step, no? Bhakti or devotion or attachment or love for Krishna will increase. Shraddha, rati, bhakti, and or faith, shraddha, bhakti or devotion, and rati or attachment. Soul can live without attachment. It's natural to be attached to something or someone. It's natural. And naturally we become attached to our family members, to our friends. That's natural. But we should know that it's not forever. Death comes and then it's finished. You don't know what's going to happen next. Sometimes people ask me, I'm gonna meet my family again next life. I mean, well, if you want to, I mean, everything is possible. They meet again in a different family, they keep fighting. The son becomes the father and chastise the father. I used to be chastised by the father. So they change eternally. So we should try to direct our attachment to Krishna. That's the once the disciples asked Srila Bhakti Sundar Goswami, why we see when two people come to Krishna consciousness, one advances faster than the other. What is the reason? And he told the story that once there was a wedding, and the groom wanted to celebrate his wedding at the house of his bride, but they have to take boat through the Ganga to reach, far away. So they paid the boatman, and he promised them, you go sleep night, morning time you will reach the destination. No one. Yes, 20 men, rowing all night. So anyway, they went to sleep. Next day, sunrise, everybody wakes up, and to their dismay, they were in the same spot. And they were complaining to the captain, what is this? We paid you so much money and we didn't move anywhere. What happened? Say, I don't know, I also want to sleep. So I went to see the men who were rowing, and he was start chastising them. Oh, I also was sleeping. What is this? No, we were rowing all night. See, we are still sweating. Then why we are at the same place? We don't know. So they were searching everywhere to find what was the reason. And finally, the groom found the reason and said, you forgot to lift the anchor. The anchor was at the bottom of the river. So no matter how they rowed it, was bottom nothing. So in the same way, if we keep the anchor of material attachment, no matter how long we try, we will not move much in spiritual attachment. So we should direct our attachment to the eternal beauty of Radha and Krishna. That's the way. There is no other. It's not easy to get out of this material illusion. It's a great, big challenge. But devotee should not be, in panic or desperation, anything. Don't change abruptly your situation. That's the recommended. Remain wherever you are. Family, work, everything. Keep doing that. At the same time, cultivate healing about it. To develop attraction. When the attraction is mature, they naturally give up sense gratification because you have higher taste. So, anyway, I would like to hear from you. If you have any comment or question, please do. Yes.
So the way to find value in our heart
Yes.
is to serve.
Correct. Yes.
And this is the most direct way to finding and increasing our own self-value.
That's because that's our real eternal nature. What is special about Krishna consciousness? It does speak about our eternal nature. It's like you can't separate fire from heat and light. It's its nature. In the same way, our eternal nature is to love and serve. If we don't direct it to Krishna, we'll direct it to something else. We can't avoid being what we are, eternal, what we are. So Krishna calls us to understand and to act, upon the understanding what we actually are. It's not religion in the sense I believe, you believe, I change my belief to this, that. It's not external. It's something internal. It's the understanding. You can't change what you are. And when we accept what we are, then we act upon it. And if we are not convinced, we keep hearing until we are convinced. We keep associating with the voice, asking questions until we understand. Once we understand, we accept. And when we accept because we understood, then there is conviction. And when there is conviction, you pay attention. You can focus your mind better in the chanting, hearing, everything, because you are convinced. This is what I really want in my life. But you think, oh yes, I like Krishna, but I also like little Maya. Little or much, it depends. I mean to say, Krishna likes exclusivity. That's why in chapter 8, verse 5 in the Bible, they said, Anta kale chamam, smara mukta kale, maram yapayati samabdavam, yatinas teatra samshayaha. And whoever at the end of life, Anta kale means end of life, remembers me alone, he achieved my eternal nature. Of this there is no doubt. So Krishna remarked, only me. It's not that, okay, yes, Krishna, but also I worship devatas. Like that. Krishna saying, only me. He doesn't like to be shared. So sometimes the devotee, because of family tradition, in my family they worship this demigod, that demigod. You have to follow our tradition. No, Krishna is saying no. Only to me. Krishna saying Bhagavad Gita, those who worship demigod are less intelligent because they worship me indirectly. Because demigod are part of me. They are the managers of this material universe. They should be always respected, of course. Never disrespected. But love and service is meant to Krishna. And worship. One devotee asked me that somebody gave him the deity of Lord Shiva. So he asked me what to do. He's been worshipping Lord Shiva. I said, no problem. When you do arti to your deities, even Gornitai, Jagannath, and Radha Krishna, after offering them, you offer the remnant to the deity of Shiva. He will be satisfied because he's devotee. Pure devotee. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu is a great devotee of Krishna. So you offer the remnant of Krishna to your deity. I was not the independent worship. If you already have and you don't want to give up, because of fear, may offend, make offense or something. Once in South India, I went to somebody's home. And this man has an altar with everybody in it. I mean, everybody means everyone, demigods, all prophets from all religion and everything. And I saw one picture of Superman. Really, Superman? So, well, just in case, I could not believe it. Yes.
Maharaj, in that verse that we read today, where Sri Prahlad Maharaj says that for them, those who are attached to materialistic life, the Krishna consciousness is not awoken by the instruction of others or by their own efforts.
Yes.
But we also find in the Bhagavatam examples where people were not really looking for Krishna consciousness. They were attached, but their Krishna consciousness is awoken by conversations with devotees. So how am I to understand?
Yeah, that's a good question. I also thought about that. The thing is, what the verse is saying, those who are determined to remain in the material, like Hiranyakashipu, he was determined to be materialistic. He was atheist. He told himself, I am Bhagavan. So this kind of people, no matter good instruction, will fall in deep ear. Not interested. But there are ignorant, innocent people. There are still innocent, honest people in the world. The last leg of religion still remaining is the truthfulness. So there are people, when they hear the truth, they are honest enough to accept this is true. Understand? And when they accept the truth, then they can become devotees. They can become attracted to know more about Krishna consciousness. That people like strong materialists, like Prabhupada said, he sometimes speak with politicians and with them. He said they will never become Krishna conscious because their only interest is money and power. That's it. I had a friend in South America, a famous musician there. I know all these politicians. All of them are drunkard and woman hungry. All of them, without exception. And they are leading the people. What good example they can give. So that's why it's difficult, to preach to this kind of people because they are very attached to the power they have, the sense gratification. That's why Brahma says, they always chew once and again and again. Because they have zero interest in spiritual life. But if somebody Prabhupada said, if you see somebody have very little interest in the spiritual life, you should fan that little spark and it becomes a flame. Right. So there are those who are atheist envious, one should avoid. Those who are ignorant, innocent, we should try to make the friendship of devotee and develop love for Krishna. That's the Madhyamadika stage. I think we should try to come to that stage, I hear one nurse story about in Ukraine years ago. One devotee was doing book distribution home to home. And in a door, one lady he offered the books, and she said, yes, I would like to buy this book. Please come to my house. Let me get the money to buy all of the books. So he waited for her, and she has a big painting of Lord Jesus, beautiful painting. He was admiring the painting. The lady came, and she asked him, oh, you like Lord Jesus? He said, yes, yes. We love Jesus. He's a pure devotee of God, the Son of God. We respect and love him. You know? And she said, that's very nice because three days ago, I had a dream with Lord Jesus, and he told me in the dream, I advise you to become vegetarian. And in 3 days from now, a young man is going to knock on your door, offering you some food, buy them home. They are very good. So it's good to know that Jesus is like the Sankirtan movement. He's backing us up. He's on our side. All right. Yes.
General clarification question now.
Yes.
So I just heard this on TV. Is it true that in the cycle of birth and death, we will meet the same people who would have the same or people in our relationship from previous birth would also be like, we will meet them in this birth also until we go back to God.
Not necessarily. Everybody heard the question? The question was, she heard on YouTube or something, that we will meet again the same family members before, and the next life, and until we go back to God. Not necessarily. Only if you are very attached to them, then may you meet again. And if you are the mother and you mistreated your daughter, next life she will become the mother and she will mistreat you. The law of karma, you know. So better be nice to everyone. Because what goes around comes around. That's the law of karma. Remember the story of Drishtaketu, you know? Drishtaketu, he had no son. He wanted to have a son. So he asked Angira Muni. Angira Muni was? I think so. Please do a yajna for me. I want to have a son, you know. And he had many wives because he tried to have children. No one of them would give him a child. What was his karma? Bad karma. He could not have a son or a child. So Angira Muni said, you are not destined to have a child. It's not in your karma. But since you're asking me, I'm gonna help you. But let me tell you in advance, although you may have the son, he will give you very little happiness, but a lot of sorrow. So you decide if you want to. And Shritakoti thought, oh, maybe he will be very mischievous and, you know, bad behavior. But it's better to have a bad behaved son than no son at all. So I said, okay, I accept. And what happened? After the child was born, his mother was the center of all attention, the child, and all the co-wives became envious. That no, the king not care for them anymore, only to the mother of the child. They became so envious, jealous, they poisoned the child. The child died. And imagine the king, the queen crying pitifully. They were devastated, devastated. So Narad Muni, Nangaya Muni came and tried to pacify them, and tried to preach them. But no matter how hard, he would not listen. Because he was so grief-stricken, he was so much suffering, he could not hear any spiritual advice. Then Narad Muni understood he had to do something more drastic. So he called the soul back to the body of the child. And the child spoke. He told his father, in many lifetimes I have many parents. Which one of them are you? And to tell you the truth, in my past life I was your enemy. And I became your son and died prematurely just to make you son. He was his enemy from past life. So don't become too attached. like that. You don't know what's going to happen. There was one true story that happened in England, in London. One devotee, Indian devotee, he had a younger brother. He was very attached to. Younger brother was very attached to his elder brother. He would take him to the temple, and take prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, everything. But after some time, the younger brother had a car accident, died. But the elder brother was very sad and not suffering. But eventually he got married and had a son. And when his son was 5 years old, he looked at the picture of his father with his brother from past life. Right? And he thought, Father, I was your brother in my past life. This is me. He used to take me to the temple and teach me Krishna consciousness. Please keep doing that. I need your help, So he remembered that he was a brother in past life. There are many stories like that. So he became Krishna conscious, of course. If I need to say, but most of the cases is not, Krishna is not involved in this. Only the attachment, material attachment. Even our religion, they think, after we die, we're gonna see again our dear ones, loved ones. There is a paradise where we all be together. My pet dog will be there also. That's so sentimental. No? So sentimental. There is one religion, they believe that this same planet will become like heaven, and they will live eternally in the same material body, and all family members will be again back with them, and all the pets, cat and dogs, and they will live happily in this world. God is somewhere else, far away. But here they are happy with material life. They don't understand. No religion will teach that this material world is a happy place to live in. Or religion say be detached from this world. Go back to God. Go to the kingdom of God. Isn't it? Otherwise, it's cheating religion. It doesn't teach that. That answer your question? No. I mean, even Queen Kunti, she prayed to Krishna, please give me detachment from my family member. And they were pure devotees, all of them, the Pandavas. But she was speaking about the material side, not the spiritual side. Every aspect there is a spiritual side and the material side. If one see a family member as servant of Krishna, then it's nice, no wrong there. Try to help them to become Krishna conscious. That's very good service to do, isn't it? But that the Shastra said one should not become father, mother, guru, teacher, if he can't free his dependent from repeated birth and death. So it's a great responsibility, actually. Any other comment, questions?
Thank you.
Yes, yes. What pulled me into Krishna consciousness? Well, I will say I was searching for answers, I wanted to know. Because I saw around myself friends, family, and working hard, not enjoying life. And that's all about life is earning money, getting married, having children, eating, sleeping, and dying without knowing why we are here. So I thought, no, I have to find, must be something behind all this, word. There must be some answer. What is the purpose of living in this world? You know? So in that search, I came to know about yoga, personalism, became vegetarian and everything. But I still didn't get the answer because they didn't have, more profound philosophy, Krishna conscious philosophy. I mean, even Indian people, they follow their family tradition, everything, but there is no much philosophy. When they come in Krishna consciousness and they hear the philosophy, they become like enlightened. This is it. They were doing things like mechanically, like do the same puja every day because that's what I thought. The same thing happened all religion. They do everything like mechanically without understanding what it's all about. So I was born in a Christian family, but I knew there is much more to that. It's not just some ritual and, people go to church and they look how is that blessing, how is that. And they just, what they do is just, what do you call, gossip about this, that, life. Become like social thing only. But this is not the real thing. The real thing is to know who I am and why I am in this material world. What is there after there? Who is God? What relationship I have with Him? Those are the questions that human beings should ask. So I was asking myself all these questions. And my parents would tell me, you're thinking too much. You will end up mad. You're thinking too much. Don't think too much. Enjoy life. You're a young man. They preach to me like. Sometimes they also feel like this, no? Friends or family members. Why you so worry much about other life? You're young, enjoy your life now. Life is meant for enjoyment, but they don't know what the real enjoyment is, Devotees also enjoy very much chanting, feasting, prasad, and worshipping their devotees and reading the books and discussing about Krishna consciousness. They also get much enjoyment. Unless you get some enjoyment, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over. I've been chanting Hare Krishna for the last 49 years now. The first time I heard the Maha Mantra was I bought what we call this LLP, vinyl, 33 and yeah. That was called, you must have heard about it. It's called one rock opera called Hair. One of the songs was Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra, because one of the director of this rock opera had a devotee friend. We're talking about 69. And the devotee advised him, why you don't include the chanting of Hare Krishna? He said, I like the idea. So he included one of the songs about Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna. So I learned that the chanting, before it was no devotees, no nothing there in South America. Until 72, the arrived the movement there. And I started chanting Hare Krishna. I knew it was something spiritual. I didn't know what exactly meant, but I knew it was something spiritual about it, So I started chanting Hare Krishna. And then the song of George Harrison came, My Sweet Lord. He's also chanting Hare Krishna. So I told him, if he chanting Hare Krishna must be something very spiritual. So anyway, and then one day I was with my family watching the TV, and devotees came on the TV, one show. At that time was a black and white TV, no color TV yet. And they were chanting, and then one devotee was speaking, the philosopher. So I put more volume to hear more clearly what he was saying. And my mother got upset. She said, because I was already the black sheep of the family, being vegetarian, doing yoga. Third one, I was the crazy one. So when they saw that I got interested in the Hare Krishna, she said, the only thing left for you to do is to join this Hare Krishna. And I thought, why not? It's a good idea. I haven't thought about it until now. She gave me the idea. So I became more interested in knowing. And when a friend gave me a book, one of Prabhupada's books, I read the book immediately. I became interested to know more. So and that's how I met Prabhupada when he went to Venezuela in 75. I was already living in the temple for 9-10 months. Became initiated. Something was like dragging me to Krishna consciousness. I don't know why. Now thinking it like, wow. I mean, it's not an easy decision to make, Give up everything, go live in the temple. One. That was the beginning of the book was like that. If you want to become devotee, you have to give up everything, live in the temple. There was no other way to do it, At the beginning was like that. It was a missionary movement. Then, of course, then became more congregational, more family, related thing. But the beginning was not like that. So anyway, I answered your question. Maybe I was Indian in my past life. One astrologer actually told me, very good astrologer in Jaipur, told me that according to Brigu Samhita, in my past life I was yogi. I was born near the Ganga River. So maybe I continue from my past life. Something happened to me that the astrologer said was true. Amazing. And that was in Venezuela, a friend of mine, a very famous musician, singer, and he was interviewed on TV by one lady, psychologist, metaphysical. So she liked the philosophy, and he called me to the temple. I was living in the temple. That was beginning of the 90s. I met this astrologer in 1986. And the 91, 92, something like that, my friend told me, I'm going to Miami, please, can you give this lady the book Science of Self-Realization? I said, yes, of course. He sent me the address. So I went with one devotee. She has a mansion. She was having a school there to teach people metaphysics and all this kind of thing, mentalism. Anyway, I entered. There was a guard there. I entered with one devotee friend. We were dressed like devotees. And one young couple were sitting there, and they saw us coming, and they started staring at us. And especially the girl would not take her eyes out of me. So the devotee asked me, do you know this lady? I said, no, never seen her. Why is she staring at you? I don't know. I will ask her if she knows me. Maybe she saw me on TV or something. Because we are usually to go to TV programs. Anyway, when we approached them, the girl fainted and started trembling and speaking in different language and all this, Anyway, so they took her to a room, and her boyfriend shook hands with me, say, I'm a mentalist, and I can feel very strong energy coming from you. I think that happened. You have to do with what happened. So I'm very sorry, I didn't mean to. He said, no, it's not your fault, but it's related to you for some reason. we need to talk about it. I say, yes, let me take the book to the lady, talk to her. And after like half an hour, I came down. But the girl was almost start recovering. Happened to me. I get the temple card. Said, you come to the temple, we can speak. So they came after a couple of days, both of them. And the girl said what happened to her. She said that when she saw me, she has very strong feeling that I know this person from somewhere, but I don't remember from where. They call it deja vu. No. And when I approaching them, that feeling became stronger, so much that she fainted. But she said that when she was unconscious, she saw herself standing in front of a big temple. And she saw me coming, dressed in orange like this, with a different face, of course. I have a long beard, long hair, like yogi. You know? And I was like a spiritual advisor to her also. She was taking advice from me. So she said, that never happened to me before, the first time I had such an experience. So I'm a little bewildered. Can you please explain to me why this happened to me? And I told her, God must want you to remember that you must continue with your spiritual life. Nothing happened accidentally. And I told them what the astrologer told me. So I told you are now confirming that it's true. It is true. So please read the books, chant Hare Krishna, continue with your spiritual life. And they liked it. They took the books to the japa. So, Prabhupada said some of my disciples were jnanis or yogis in their past. Some, not all of them. Some of them. When I first met Prabhupada, when he entered the temple, I had this very strong feeling that I had immediate connection. I felt like the temple was floating in mid-air. And we were dancing in front of Prabhupada in the kirtan. And Prabhupada was looking at each one of us. And suddenly Prabhupada looked at me. I never saw in my life anybody with such humble and compassionate glance and so pure glance, like a window to the spiritual world. You could feel his love for Krishna, his compassion. It was an amazing experience, to tell you the truth. He wanted to know what I experienced when I saw Prabhupada first time. We used to chant in front of Prabhupada picture, because that time there was no deity, but picture. And in front of Prabhupada, we chanted japa and kirtan. And when Prabhupada came personally, we felt like the picture was walking out of the painting, you know. Was a dream fulfilled, you know. Any last question? Comment? Yours was going on something.
I just want to say thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you for saying that. Yes.
Yesterday you mentioned initially when you started the chanting, right? Like you were continuously chanting for 8 hours.
Yes.
So what advice you have, like when we do chanting, right? Like most of the times initially when we chant, it will be good. I mean, at some point of time it might go mechanical or the back of our mind, like some
Yes,
things
yes.
run, right? What advice you have to improve the quality of chanting?
To improve our quality of chanting, we must try to understand that Krishna is not different from his name. That's very important thing to know, to be convinced of. Once we actually convinced of that, no, then we can pay better attention. And also, philosophically, one should try to understand Okay, who's chanting? My tongue is chanting, my fingers are moving the beads. Who's actually chanting? Who's hearing? My ear are hearing, my tongue is chanting, my body is chanting. No, the soul is chanting. Without the soul, the body has no life. Prabhupada once told the devotee who asked him, Prabhupada, when I chant my mind, to be troubled. Prabhupada said, you are chanting. What is the question of the mind? You chant. Meaning you, the soul, chant. Why you have to pay attention to the mind? That means you ignore the mind. Don't pay attention to the mind. Yes, chant. But we do chant mechanically because we are still on the mental platform. And what the mind does when we repeat sound, if you hear very loud noise, the mind after some time quiet the noise. It's like the pilot, they're flying the airplane, and they put what it does automatic mode, and they do read some magazine, something to fly along. So that's what the mind does. When we chant, it becomes mechanical, and the mind fly over here and there. But if we understand that me, the soul, is chanting, and Krishna is not different from his name, then I will do better effort to be more attentive to the chant. And when we try to do that, even if the mind gets distracted, we can bring it back. If we don't make effort to chant more attentively, the mind will even go, we don't even notice. Oh, I finished my 16th round. But where was your mind when you were chanting? So it is important to make an effort to try to concentrate on the chant. Once the devotee asked Prabhupada, when we chant, what we should do? Prabhupada said, nothing. You have to just chant. Chant and hear. Nicely. That's all you have to do. If the mind gets distracted, look at Krishna's picture, the deities, to help you concentrate. And the chanting should be uninterrupted, like the Ganga going to the ocean. Not like social japa. How are you, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, what we go the other day? That's not the way to chant. That's why we have certain time, to chant. So no distraction, no conversation going on, like that. And when you do it with concentration, wow, you get an amazing experience. Really, I had this wonderful experience. Actually, I get out of the body experience after chanting for 7-8 hours. My mind was so happy, it jumped out of the body. And I saw the planet and the stars and everything. I thought I was gonna die. So I shouted, Krishna, Krishna. That wasn't from here, it was outside, somewhere else. But then slowly I came back to the body. And I thought, what just happened to me? Then I took out Krishna's picture, and an energy came out of the picture, entered my body. And I felt like waves of happiness going, up and down, Then I felt a strong connection, And my mind became very quiet, very peaceful for a long time. So I thought, this is real. The secret is to chant very attentive and with feelings also. Jiva Goswami recommend we should chant like a child crying for mother. Until you have children, you will know what that means. The mother knows when the child is faking crying. Crocodile tears. The mother will know. She will not pay attention. But when the child really cries, she knows. She immediately calm. So the same way, we have to sincerely cry to Krishna for help. We should chant helplessly. My only hope is to give me shelter. You accept me, although I've forgotten you for so many lives. my good Lord, please, now I'm going back to my senses, to my Krishna consciousness. Please don't reject me. Please accept me. Mother Hara, Krishna, please be merciful, be kind, engage me in your service. It's a beautiful meditation. So the secret is concentration and feeling, both things. So you have to do what you have to do to get that taste for chanting. Nam Ruchi. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught these three things very important. Nama Ruchi, Jivadaya, Vaishnava Seva. Develop taste for chanting the names of the Lord. Jivadaya, be compassionate to the people who forgot Krishna. And serve the Vaishnavas. That's the three things important. Thank you, everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming such a long distance and giving us your association. And, I want to especially thank His Holiness Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj for giving such a wonderful class and instruction and his association. So let's thank him by loudly chanting. I hope and pray Maharaj will come back again to Portland. Thank you.
Please come tomorrow. There's Sunday feast at temple at 11.